What's up, everyone? Welcome to the First and Last Hit show. I'm your host, Mac Dubs. Tonight, I've got none other than Kane himself. Kane, how are you doing?
Really? That's what you're gonna call it? Okay, cool. Yeah.
I've got
Good.
got a good buddy of mine, Demon Monsoon, with us tonight, and tonight is not only a very special episode. We're talking about the Royal Rumble here.
70 days till they hit my city. Philly gets the WrestleMania, and I'm I'm gonna say right now, I've watched all the old Royal Rumbles, all 37 of them, which is scary now. I gotta put this as one of the. It's gonna be on the top 10 of the best Royal Rumbles.
I've got to say top five. I mean, I think you put two of the best was back to back Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I would see the problem with you judging it. You have to. It's always hard when you talk about the best of the best rumbles because there's certain ones like you do Attitude Era. Okay, what's the best one of the Attitude Era? Obviously, the one before WrestleMania 17 or X7, as I want to call it. Or when Ric Flair won it all, was number one. Well, I think he was like number one, number two, and he won the title. Or obviously, in the height of the Iraq War, Desert Storm won. You had the Iraqi sympathizer winning, and then Hulk Hogan wins. So it's a different. It's a hard to always say. I put in the top 10 just because there was. I'm sorry, probably one of the dumbest. There was a dumb match on that card. The women's rumble until the very end, it picked up immensely. The finish for the fatal four way, you kind of had a hunch who was going to get pinned by Reigns. The men's rumble, somebody was all mad and CM Punk should have won.
Yeah,
No,
we've got we've got Omos coming on here in a few minutes if he doesn't hurry the heck up and answer me back. Um, but no, I was sitting here talking to a good friend of mine, uh, an ECW original, one of the original Dudley boys, Chubby Dudley himself. We were talking about the Kevin Owens and Logan Paul match.
that was the weakest. That was subpar.
I think the most mid match was the mid card match itself, and that was the Fatal Four Way match.
See,
It
you,
had no storytelling in it.
that's the problem. Those two, there could have been easily a SmackDown or a SmackDown episode match. It really didn't do much. I mean, it protected. If you look at who got the pin, who Roman Reigns pinned, it protected Orton, LA Knight.
Yeah.
It legitimately protected those two. And it's like, okay, Solo, yay. Here, and you can already tell how they're going to set up Roman Reigns is how he's going to lose the title. There, I can almost guarantee you, and I feel it in my bones. Cody, The Rock will play a role in everything, of course, because now he's bigwig. I'm going to say now, Roman versus Cody. The Rock is the guest referee. Cody wins, and they do a year-long wait for Rock and Reigns because they want to build that, and you build it big. at WrestleMania 41.
So, do you think Cody Rhodes? So Cody Rhodes wins at WrestleMania, is what we're
Yes.
predicting, and then somewhere down the line, after Cody Rhodes finishes his story, Roman wins it back, and then it's Roman and The Rock at WrestleMania 41.
I don't think it's going to be the title.
Oh,
It's going to be for head of the table, who truly is the dynasty. They are going to build this. If they go to Philly and they let Cody lose again, I will be done watching WWE.
Yeah.
It's you've built it up to that point. I will say somebody who impressed me a lot in the men's Rumble match, which they had their moments. Pat McAfee had his big moment, which I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Omos had a good showing, and they didn't damage him too much. AJ Styles, you can tell they're trying to they're just putting him down the line. A lot of people will say Punk should have won. Again, no. Punk, it's not Punk's year. I think there's still a lot of bad blood with him. And
yeah, I mean, you could tell during the Royal Rumble when he hit that pedigree and he just looked at the TV screen. It's like, yeah, I'm back, But
yeah, and my thing is, if they're smart, if Rollins is healthy enough, because he has a serious injury, either you're going to put it should be I think Elimination Chamber match will decide who faces Seth Rollins. In my view, if it's Punk does not deserve. I mean, if they're going to do Punk versus Seth Rollins goes over automatically because Punk does not deserve it. I have my issue. Punk as a performer, great. Punk behind the scenes, because I've been in the indie scene, I've worked pro wrestling, and I'm also now in the boxing and MMA world. Punk doesn't deserve squat. Logan Paul, same thing. That match, they're gonna run it again. They're gonna run it again and again. And it's like, do we have to have it?
I mean, that was a great. I mean, for a singles match, I mean, that was probably the best. That was probably the best match besides the Royal Rumble. I could just the storytelling and the Fatal 4-Way. I couldn't get into it. It was too predictable. It was too short.
I put the Fatal 4-Way before the United States title. I think that was a weak. It was a weak show. It was a weak performance. I think what they should have did was something more different. Okay, you have Austin and Weller in it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny though. Both Royal Rumble matches. You got Cody Rhodes winning, and he's going to finish the story. And then you got Bayley winning. She's going to finish the story.
But here's the thing now, you may not have heard this, but Bayley and obviously the greatest, one of the greatest guys on the mic, Dusty Rhodes. Dusty helped train Bayley. So it is a poetic that the two do it. I did think the shocker was Naomi coming back, and you're like, what? Wait, what? Naomi returns, and it's like,
oh, you can't forget Mama Pump now. I mean, Jordynne Grace. Good.
Oh, Jordynne Grace. She shows. I don't know where they're going to take her with her story. I would like to see. I honestly thought Charlotte Flair was going to come back. I was like, where's Charlotte? I was like, has she recovered yet?
Yeah. What about Andrade coming back? Do you see
that was a shocker. I wish they would have saved that later.
Yeah.
If you're going to do a throwaway, have the two brothers duking it out like they did. Grayson Waller, okay, that was funny. Have the entire Judgment Day there, ganging up on the one Uso and be like, I'm done with you. Like, really emphasize it. I think the order was, if you really wanted to take Cody to a position, make him number one. Let him go the whole way. There's more of that. Ooh, that would have been that could have been the ultimate storytelling. Cody has to go through all 30. And even like Gunther, I mean, like I said, there were 3 people I'd picked to win. Cody, Gunther, and Punk. Because of different reasons. Punk, just because, he's back in WWE. They want to do something nice, please Chicago. Gunther, because it made sense. Cody, obviously finishing the story. The shocker, and I've been hearing this on the news, because of, Vince doing with his fun, it prevented Brock Lesnar from coming back. And right now, behind the scenes, you got to distance yourself from anybody who has association with Vince McMahon. And Triple H did a very good job with his Rumble. This is his first one under the Endeavor umbrella. He really did do a better job.
Could have done more with the Forbidden Door, but
he could have.
Before a start, I mean, 1 out of 10, I give it a 7, maybe 6.5, 6.5.
I do. I mean, as a pay-per-view as a whole, I got to give it a 5 because of the two mid cards. The Rumble matches don't have to save the show. Generally, one's weaker than the other one. Last year, the women's was weak. The men's was the strongest. This one, they were both equally strong. So, it was good, but it could have been a little bit better if they would have, you can tell where they're planting the seeds for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you could tell. I mean, it was clear as day.
I mean, I do think the Elimination Chamber is getting set up perfectly. I think what WWE should do at WrestleMania 40, and it's always in the zeros. 10 had it, 20 had it, 30 had the shock heard around the world. Undertaker streak ending. 40 could be a perfect time to reset the entire WWE universe. Have all the gold on the line. Get all the titles, a Titanic finale. And then, have that. I want to personally see Corey Graves or Pat McAfee. Let's get that. We need it.
That was a little dumb, but.
Oh, I thought when McAfee came out,
it was funny, but
when McAfee came out, I was like, "Oh, they're doing it." And Corey's like, and I'm like, "Can you please just?"
But he can actually work. He can actually go. I mean, did you ever see the match between him and Adam Cole?
Oh yeah,
that was a great match.
And that's saying Corey gave up because of concussion stuff. I think if you do a tag team with Corey versus Pat in that genre, yes. I do think we know who's going to headline the Hall of Fame. It's obviously Bray Wyatt's going to headline the Hall of Fame. But I think you got to put Paul Heyman in because you're in Philly any ECW site. I really do think at this point it's going to be right down the middle,
Yeah.
and I think that Nick Aldis, he's going to have enough of Roman, and he's going to put, if anybody of the bloodline interferes, Roman loses the title.
I mean, that was BS. I mean, of course he was going to have interference tonight, and
But I think at this one, to really say, look, it's an even playing field. You had help last time. We're doing it this way.
yeah. But I saw you were live earlier, or you did like a little video or something about the that was the 5 main pay-per-views. You forgot one. There were 6.
Well, I go with the original 4. Remember, the original 4.
I mean, yeah, the original 4, but if you really think about it, Armageddon was one of the originals.
I wouldn't count Armageddon because of what it replaced. Armageddon got replaced by Vengeance in 2001 because
they should have never done that.
Oh, well, because of what happened in 2001. Yeah, you had to.
Well, I mean,
2001. You have to think, if you look at, and this is only you had the end of the Attitude Era and going into the end of Invasion, and then oh my goodness, what were we smoking? Invasion. Literally, because of 9/11, the whole thing got changed. Like, Armageddon was supposed to be the pay-per-view in 2001. They changed it to Vengeance. The original 4, and yes, there was a 5th one. King of the Ring was huge. It gave us the Austin era, gave us Triple H eras. For me, the big 4: Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Those are the 4. And everything in between, it's like, oh, really? You're going to do that? Okay, predictable. We're at the Rumble. You don't know who's going to come in. WrestleMania. The shockers. You had the epic ladder match at WrestleMania 10. WrestleMania 20. Chris Benoit defines the odds, and so does Guerrero. The stinker PU of Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. WrestleMania 30. Yeah, they redid the triple threat match. Nobody cares about that one. They only cared about Undertaker's streak going down at WrestleMania 30.
You know what? To speak on that, everyone was so mad about that, but The Undertaker wanted Brock Lesnar to take his streak because they wanted it. They wanted everyone pissed at Brock Lesnar for taking his streak. But behind the scenes, him and Brock Lesnar are real good friends.
Yeah, and a lot of people probably don't know this, but after Brock Lesnar's match, 2 people went with The Undertaker to the hospital. Lesnar and McMahon. McMahon usually stays for the crowning of the champion. He said, "You're in charge, Hunter. I'm out." Yeah. So that's a shot. That was a huge shot. I think with WrestleMania 40, reset the thing. Get everyone together, all the gold, reset, and make it like what they did with 30. If you look at the zeros, WWE tends to reset the playing field. And WrestleMania 10 gave us the ladder matches, and then we had the Iron Man. Then we had the, oh my goodness, what were we smoking? Till we got to the Attitude Era, and then WrestleMania 20 restarted WWE. 30 rebuilt WWE because the last few Manias were stinking. This one, bring Roman Reigns to an end. I would say Bayley she's a flip of the coin on who she's going to go for the title.
I mean, she could go for Rhea Ripley, and then Damage Control could just take over and be the best women's faction. I think even the only women's faction.
They're the only women's faction they've ever had.
Yeah, that's right. The only women's faction that was ever.
But here's the thing: do you turn Damage Control heel or face? Because they're both heels.
That is true.
And if you're gonna go against a Judgment Day, that's when you guys start bringing. Well, who do you bring in to go against the most annoying guy, Dominic, so-called JD, Damian, and of course Finn Balor, and I'm sorry, Loser Boy R-Truth, who's a complete psychopath. His character is going over, so cool with him. But who do you go for? That's why I'm a little leery. I think Ripley. I don't think Bayley's going to face Ripley. She's going to face the other one. They're going to save that Storm Girl for Ripley. There's going to be 2 Elimination Chamber matches, and that's going to be the one that decides who faces the champ. And I'm going to be very I'll be very leery if Bayley goes out. If Bayley goes after Ripley, they're turning everybody face. Or Ripley's getting booed out of Damage Control.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time for Bayley to go face again. I mean, she's been heel for the past year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah, but I would say move Damage Control heel, from heel to face,
and make Bayley the heel.
And make Bayley a face. Make Damage Control automatically becomes a face, and then you surround and you have the guys play second fiddle. You have a CM Punk show up, take down Dominic. You build, get a couple of the regular guys on there and build that. I do think that if Cody completes the story, Solo takes out Reigns. And
I can see that.
I don't know if we're going to see Heyman ever again after that. Or Heyman goes with Solo.
I could definitely see that. I could see that happening. There's so many plot twists and so many storylines that could happen between now and WrestleMania. And you know what? One of my things was Damian Priest would have won the Royal Rumble, and then he would have had a match, and then he still has the
Money in the bank.
Yeah, he could have cashed it in on somebody, and then he could have won his match at WrestleMania.
Here's one for you. Gunther wins the Elimination Chamber match. Faces Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins, but because of how injured Gunther made Seth Rollins, Damian cashes in at WrestleMania. It's the only way, because we know where Cody's going. So
yeah,
they made that so dang obvious. So
yeah, they really did. I mean, it's been predictable for the past years now, but I think I think a lot of things are going to switch up now since Triple H is fully in charge, and
finally.
Yeah, it's about time. I mean, it took some pretty messy stuff to get Vince McMahon out of here, but dear God, help that man.
Yeah. And I really do think if Hunter does what I think needs to. If you just watch the products right now, everything's converging to a big reboot. There's a reboot coming,
Do you
and
think?
it's
You think it's a new Attitude
mm,
Era coming?
huh?
Do you think there's a new Attitude Era coming?
I wouldn't say a new attitude era, but the playing field's going to radically change. There's going to be a lot of major overhaul. It took a year for the Endeavor deal to take effect, and if you do the year's up right at WrestleMania 40. How huge! Cody's your champion. Reigns goes away, comes back. The Rock and Reigns build, the head of the table, the Titanic battle is set for an entire year. They pull John Cena. I would have Randy Orton winning the gold for the 15th time, or Cena breaking Ric Flair's record. There is so much in place that Hunter is going to reset the button. You can almost tell he's waiting. I mean, they were going to do Brock versus Gunther, but Brock, because he's tied in with McMahon, dear Lord, we're not going to see that match.
We might not even see Brock Lesnar no more.
Yeah. And I think if I'm Hunter, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, period. So,
I mean, it's time for new things. I mean, me and you are about the same age. I mean, we're close. We're close in age. We grew up watching the Attitude Era and the storylines, and they were good. They were good. And,
yeah, but what made them good? What was the number one storyline the entire time?
I mean, to me, there was a bunch of storylines.
Yeah, but there was only one that made the company all the money. Vince Austin.
True.
That was the crux of the entire Attitude Era. Yeah. Everything else was filler in. Perfect example, WrestleMania 2000. A McMahon in every corner. A McMahon, and afterwards, Backlash, McMahon. Judgment Day, McMahon. The invasion angle was a continuation of the story from 2000. Except now it was the kids turning on the father. It just, the McMahons for that 3 years of the Attitude Era had it. So I think if you think about the eras of pro wrestling, we're in a post Vince, we're in the intermediate time. So you reboot at WrestleMania 40 for the next 10 years. So you get the WrestleMania 50.
Yeah. And you know what? I hope and pray that Triple H doesn't end up like a Vince McMahon, starting off good and in the middle just doing the same things that he did.
Hunter won't. I don't think Hunter will. The way Hunter, I mean, who would have thought Bayley was going to win it? Literally.
In all honesty, I thought Jade Cargill was going to win.
That was the bet, and amongst all the fans, was she was going to win it. Bayley was the surprise one. Everyone assumed Cody, but when they stacked the deck with all the top dogs, you're like, at the end, I honestly thought Punk's going to win it. Yeah. Cody's like, boom. And I was like, thank God, because it was only natural. So
yeah. We got a couple of people in here. Let's ask the viewers what they thought of Royal Rumble tonight. Drop down in the chat what y'all thought about the Royal Rumble, 1 out of 10. What'd you think about it? What did you think was the best part of the Royal Rumble, men's, women's, the Fatal 4-Way, or the U.S. title match? You know what? In all honesty, I think the women's Royal Rumble was actually better than the men's.
I gotta disagree with you. because the women started out very.
Well, I mean, yeah, it
It
started off slow, but I mean,
it was up until you got. Yeah, Naomi was a high point, but then it was like, oh, let's just keep killing the one girl with the big fat girl. Okay. And it's like, okay, there's a comic part. Where the men's, okay, you knew who was going to be in it, and Estrade, okay, shocker. And then the names keep going, and you're like, what else are they going to pull off? What else? It's like, and then when Matt McAfee was the entertainment spot. So I gotta disagree with you. I put the men's Rumble better, and this would be the second year in a row in my book that the men outdid the women. Last year was the same thing. It was like, oh, really?
I mean, last year you had who in the room? You had who? Trish, Lita.
Yeah, you pulled out all the oldies that were like, okay. And then obviously the mid card, the two mid matches. It's like,
I mean, everyone. I mean, I'm in a group chat with like a bunch of random people from around the world, and everyone's like, "Oh, that match wasn't mid." Yeah, it was. It came on before the United States title match. They made that match a mid card for a reason, because the match was mid. It really was. There was no full potential.
no, and you knew who you had to protect. Protect Orton, protect LA Knight, slaughter what's his name? AJ Styles.
Let's see here. Oh. Here we go. We got one. Oh yeah, Andre. Was yeah, Strata was a huge shocker for the men's. I think he. Do you think he becomes the new leader of LWO?
Yes. But Escobar has to have his big showdown with him. I think they're going to do a huge showdown with him, and then that'll be then he takes over.
I mean, then you still got Carlito, and then I don't. I mean, is Ray injured? I don't even know. I haven't even seen.
Yeah, Ray's injured, but I think if you're going to do something with that too, set up something where Dom and Estrade go at it again, and Dom, the Judgment Day bails on him, and Dom turns face, and he is forgiven, and it's like, oh, I mean, that's gonna happen. It's on the cusp of it. They got the gold, they got the briefcase.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they had it all. They basically had it. They had most of it. Like you said, they got the tag team titles. They got Mommy Rhea Ripley with the women's title. They got the Money in the Bank. Dom had the North American title. They were doing good. I mean, all they needed was somebody to the world title, and they would have shut everything down.
But you can almost tell that they're planning, again, reboot WrestleMania 40. Here's your chance. Implode it all. And I do see, I don't think this time next year we will be thinking about the Judgment Day. I think Rhea is done.
Only way Andrade takes over if Ray passes it down to him, because if not, then they're turning either Ray heel or Andrade. No, because Rey Mysterio passed the leadership down to what's his name?
Escobar.
I don't know why I was about to say Santos.
Anyway.
Santos Escobar, yeah. But yeah, I mean, he passed it down to Santos. So I mean, yeah, it's I think it's rightful for Andrade to take over.
Yeah, and Ray will just be like, "Yeah, it's a done deal."
The
I would
Rays
see.
like it's like a it's like the TV show The Mayans, where you had Emilio uh, as the founder of the Mayans biker club. It's like Rey Mysterio. He's like one of the founders of LWO
Yeah,
with the great Eddie Guerrero. Rest in peace. Um, you know, and I think Andrade takes over. I mean, that's my opinion.
but I mean, Andrade is gonna. It's gonna eventually happen. We just gotta see how the storylines go. Like tomorrow, I mean not tomorrow, but Monday will set the tone for Raw. SmackDown's gonna be way better, and of course, again with the new TV deals about to happen, hit the button while you have a chance. Because think about it, you're gonna go out with a bang because of everything about to happen.
All right. So here's the big question: Are you Team Yeet or Team No Yeet?
What the hell do you mean?
What do you, Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso? You didn't see their shirt. You didn't see their
Oh
shirts.
yeah, I did see it. Oh great! I gotta go with the bloodline himself. So I'm Jimmy.
That was that was actually awesome. I was sitting there. I was because me and my son watched the whole thing, and we're sitting there. I'm like, all right, Jey Uso is going to be number one, and then no, he said Jey Uso is going to be number one. I was like, all right, what if Jimmy's number two?
Well,
No,
they're saying that matchup. They're gonna do something where there's gonna be a trade. Cody's going to SmackDown to face Roman, and somebody from the bloodline has to be traded, and it's gonna be something. There'll be a trade made. So
yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to be Jimmy and Jay at WrestleMania.
oh yeah, they're doing that. That's a foregone conclusion.
I saw. There was a video of Jay. They were talking about Roman Reigns and The Rock ahead of the table, and even Jay said himself that he wants, he still wants Roman at the head of the table. Well, what does that say? If The Rock and Roman Reigns uh, do uh, the all out war, who's to say that Jay won't side back with the bloodline?
But here's the thing: if they wanted to make it happen for WrestleMania, Rock would have been number 30, and Rock wins it.
Yeah,
And that's where they didn't get what they want. That's where it's like, yeah, are they teased it, but they're not going to do it. It's they would have done it at the Rumble with Rock coming in as number 30, and he just cleans house real quick, and he wins. So
yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
now, no offense, it is almost 1 a.m. here on our nice coastline.
Very lovely. Very
Yes.
lovely.
It's called. I have to check out because Demon has to go to work in a few hours. Yay!
I feel you.
Yeah, I gotta do that thing called sleep.
What's that anymore?
Let's say I'm not gonna. I get more sleep here than I did when I was hanging around with somebody. I won't say who. Shit.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't know what sleep is anymore. I work, I coach, I come home,
you die.
Yeah.
Let's see. I work, I train, I eat, I deal with drama, I come back, I deal with more drama, plan a show. Yeah, I have sometimes sleep eventually.
Very. We all have very busy and productive lives, but
Yes.
all right, man, go get you some sleep. I'm gonna
This was
chat.
fun, bro.
Oh yeah, we'll do it again, most definitely. It was on the spot, so not a lot of people would show up at the last minute, but I just had to do it. So
I had to weigh in on it because it's the WrestleMania in my hometown. So come on, I had to. It's the big one. They're doing 70 and they're doing 40 in Philly. So yeah,
I'll uh I'll be at the Road to WrestleMania Raw in March, so
that's it.
we're gonna go check it out and see what's good in the hood, as the young people say. But all right, my friend, you take
All
it
right, bud.
easy,
Take it easy, man.
and we'll catch you down the road.
All right, later.
Later. That was once again our good friend Kane. Kane, why didn't you enter the Royal Rumble? I forgot to ask you that. No, that was our friend Demon Monsoon, and I guess I'm here all by myself with this one viewer. One viewer. Drop something in the comment, say hello. If it's the same person, hi. Anyways, I think tonight's Royal Rumble match, I would give it 1 out of 10. Like I said, a 6. I did think that the women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's. The men's was way too predictable. The women's could have went any way. There was so many ways that there were so many ways it could have went. Um, but hey, that's what the Royal Rumble is all about. Um, like I said, the mid card match, Fatal 4 Way. I thought it, I thought it sucked. I thought it could have been a lot more. Um, and the way that the Kevin Owens and Logan Paul match ended, that was pretty beautifully played. Um, it's going to set up more heat between them, I think. I think. And you know what? I also thought would have been cool was since they got Logan Paul in here, why not have Jake Paul enter the Royal Rumble? He could have went after the Intercontinental title. Could have been. What do y'all think? Y'all think later down the line, Jake Paul um, comes to WWE and him and Logan Paul go after the tag titles? What do you think about having the Paul brothers? Yeah, then that'll be their tag team name. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing from Blah Blah Beach, Puerto Rico, Jake and Logan, the Paul brothers. Nah, can't see it. Can't see it. I think Logan Paul is a good performer, though. I think he can go. I think he's got a lot of energy. I think he's got a lot of uh, pizzazz, as they say. Um, I think he's a good storyteller. He's a good heel. I don't think I could see him as a face. Although, when he was teaming with The Miz, I can't remember if when I forgot who turned on who. Was it The Miz who turned on Logan Paul? Let me look. I gotta look that up. Oh, yeah, that's right. What was a disaster? But yeah, it says right here. Why did the Miz turn on Logan Paul? Because when they made the deal with Logan Paul to do this angle, part of the deal was when this angle's over, you're gonna be a babyface. I'm still alive. What are you talking about? It was actually a pretty good show. Um, anyways, so yeah, I guess they negotiated a deal with Logan Paul and the Miz, and I guess Logan Paul was supposed to go babyface after the Miz turned on him. I didn't really watch too much of that story. I thought that the I thought that after that when he turned on him, I just thought it was over. Um, I really didn't follow up on that. But you know, the couple of times I've seen Logan Paul, what was it last year in the Royal Rumble when him and Ricochet had that moment when they had that double clothesline? That was awesome. That was great. Um, I I do miss Bray Wyatt. Um, Phenomenal wrestler, great talent. It sucks what happened. Um, God, he would have been so good in this year's Royal Rumble. I mean, we've lost half of the Wyatt family. You know, we've lost so many great ones. You know, we forget to take care of ourselves sometimes, and you know, stuff happens, and it sucks. Um, but that's the thing they call life. Um, Rest in peace to Bray Wyatt, one of the greats. There was a debate on that topic about Bray Wyatt being in the Hall of Fame. Somebody said just because he passed away, he shouldn't he shouldn't be considered in the Hall of Fame. Um, First of all, I don't know what you're thinking. Bray Wyatt, in his short time, in his short wrestling career, has done a whole lot more than a lot of these other wrestlers. And I think that, you know, if he was still here, the next Undertaker, hands down. I mean, he was another storyteller. I didn't really like the Playhouse um, gimmick. Wasn't for me, but I lived through it. Um, but yeah. All right, guys, that's enough chit chat with me tonight. I'm gonna go chill out for a little bit and yeah, recap on Royal Rumble some more. Go check out the post interviews. Listen to what everyone's talking about, and go check out some of the Royal Rumble merchandise. I saw that the men and women get men and women got winner shirts. I saw Bailey holding it up with her name saying Royal Rumble winner Bailey. Thought they were pretty cool. Um, but thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Um, please like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate all the support. Once again, thanks for joining in for almost an hour. I ain't making it in an hour. But I will catch you next week, Friday. Yes, tune in next Friday once again as we interview um, the famous hacker of the United States. Yep. All right, guys. Take it easy. Peace. Love. If it ain't sweet, it ain't tasty. Now, too sweet yourself on out of here. Later.